I'm starting a new playlist called Code the Machine. Now this is the machine that we have here. I've built this machine over the last year. I've started off from scratch, from AND gates, all the way up to building this fully functioning 16-bit CPU. But it's not just a CPU, it's an entire computer system. So for example, we have the keyboard here for input. We have a display for the results of the keyboard input. We have a graphics card in order for us to draw some funky, cool graphics. We have all of the registers drawn out onto the top level so we can work out exactly what's happening. We have the actual CPU here and the flags and some control bits. So when we drop into the CPU, you can see here, in effect, this is like the motherboard for your computer. We've got the CPU, which is in the motherboard, and we have our ROM cards and RAM cards as well, and we also have the input-output cards. Now in this instance here, the only ones that we're using are for the keyboard, the display and the graphics, but we have the option to add others if we need to, and we have a data bus, address bus and a control bus running round our motherboard. Now whenever we drop into the CPU, you can see that we've got the arithmetic logic unit. We have all of the registers along the top here, including the stack pointer and an index register. We have an instruction address register and an instruction register and a memory address register. We have the control section with a little counter. We have all of the enables along the left hand side and all of the sets along the right hand side, and all of this is controlled within the microcoded ROM, and I've already generated the routines that are required for all of the instructions, and we have at the moment 81 different instructions. Now the course that I'm going to work through isn't about the architecture of this. I already have 3 courses which are available on my Patreon account, which will allow you to build this entire CPU. Even supposing you don't know anything about electronics, I mean nothing at all, you can start from nothing and build this fully functioning 16-bit machine. So I will leave the link to the video, from the video, to my Patreon account, and you can get in, have a look, and if you like what you see, then you can sign up, and if you want you can start building it from scratch, or if you're interested you can work along with me in this video series. Now this video series is called Code the Machine. So this is the machine, and it's about us actually writing the assembly language code for this machine. So you will be able to learn the constructs of assembly language, but you'll be able to learn it in a fun, relaxed environment, and you'll have a learning machine here in order for you to see what actually happens within the computer whenever you write your assembly language. Now if you join me on Patreon, I'll do all I can to help you get started so that you can code along with me, and you can check out all of the videos on the video series. So we're going to start off by something really simple, and that is adding 2 numbers together. So we're going to get onto that in the next video. Just in case you're wondering, whenever we run the code on this CPU, we can either run it and just let it run really quickly, or we can slow it right down. And in fact, we can work through the code one single clock pulse at a time. And we are able to go down inside the CPU in any part of the machine and chase up every single clock pulse and see how it changes the machine, and see how all of the instructions work through in order to generate a program and that actually does something useful and worthwhile. Now adding 2 numbers is not that exciting, but I have written whole libraries for this machine, and in fact if you want you can write a piece of code just now that will be, for example, a parametric equation for some funky little image, and it will draw on the graphics display. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves at the moment. We just want to add 2 numbers. So head to the Patreon. If you like what you see, then click on it. Or if you're still unsure, you can still follow the video series and you can see exactly what the CPU does. So thank you. I'll get you on the add two numbers. Goodbye.